Hello and welcome to today's lesson. I'm your hard-working but indefatigable teacher, Mr. Burton. You will need to watch this video and take notes as you go. You may need to watch certain parts of the video a few times to ensure complete understanding. This is your homework and I will check your notes tomorrow before we get started. I hope you learned something.
Okay, today's topic is market equilibrium and the functions of supply and demand, how they interact. The first thing we'll need to do is calculate price and quantity. Now remember, this is all high-level stuff. So we can calculate the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity supplied and demand for any good if we know the supply and demand functions. So given a demand equation, for example, QD equals 80 minus 10p, and a supply equation, quantity supplied equals minus 40 plus 20p, we can find the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity supplied and demanded in that market. So we'll take out two equations here. The good A is an equilibrium when the quantity demanded equals quantity supplied, as we know. So at equilibrium, quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. So the two equations must equal each other. So 80 minus 10p equals minus 40 plus 20p. So we need to simplify to find P, which is price. $80 plus 40 minus 10p equals 20p. That was taking that negative 40 over the other side, so adding 40. Now so that gives us 120, adding the 80 plus 40 together. 80 plus 40 is 120, and the rest of the equation stays the same. Now we'll focus on the 10p. And so we got 20p, and by taking that minus 10p over the other side of the equal sign, we get plus 10p. So 20p plus 10p must give us 30p. 120 equals 30p, and then we're just dividing 120 by 30, and we have found our price. Price is equal to $4, and that is the equilibrium price in the market. And as soon as we've done that, we can do a simple substitution to find the equilibrium quantity. So we know price is $4, so quantity supplied equals minus 40 plus 20p. So that's minus 40 plus 20 times 4, substituting that $4 in for the p. Minus 40 plus 80, so the quantity supplied must be 40 units. Minus 40 plus 80 is 40. 40 units is the quantity supplied, and that will be the quantity demanded as well, which you could check with another simple substitution. We also need to be able to calculate if there is any excess supply or demand in the market. So demand equation now, QD equals 80 minus 10p, and quantity supplied equals minus 40 plus 20p. So the price is $4, quantity demanded and quantity supplied equals 40 units. This is a decrease in supply. So the new supply equation, quantity supplied is minus 60 plus 20p. And we know from our previous lesson that when there is a decrease in supply, the market is in an initial state of disequilibrium, and there is going to be excess supply or excess demand once the supply curve shifts or the demand curve shifts. So we're looking at a decrease in supply here, new supply equation, less is being supplied, and with less being supplied, we must have excess demand in the market. Okay, we can now calculate quantity supplied at the price is equal to 4. So quantity supplied equals minus 60 plus 20p. And that becomes QS equals minus 60 plus 20 times 4. So minus 60 plus 80, that's 20 times 4 is 80. So the quantity supplied is 20. And with quantity supplied being 20 and quantity demanded being 40, we can calculate there's an excess demand of 20 units there. Now remember, aiming to maximize profits, firms are going to increase the price of good A and the market shortage will soon be eliminated. Those market forces we discussed in the last lesson will come into effect. Consumers will bid up their prices to obtain the good. Okay, so we need to plot any supply and demand changes. So here goes the supply function. QS equals minus 20 plus 10p, and our demand equation, QD equals 100 minus 4p. And we can see at equilibrium, the price is $6, and the quantity demanded and supplied is 40. A decrease in supply with that second equation, supply equation, quantity supplied equals minus 40 plus 10p. Initially, there's a shortage in the market following a decrease in supply. So quantity supplied before the market reaches a new equilibrium. Quantity supplied is less than quantity demanded. But as market forces come into play and a new equilibrium is established, that price rises from P to P1 and the quantity supplied and demanded in the market decreases from Q to Q1.